I'm Whitley Stewart of Whitley Stewart Estates, and welcome back to the Real Estate Rundown. Today, I have with me husband and wife home construction team, Ebony and Aaron Talwar of A&E Investors. Hi, guys.
Hey.
So thank you so much for joining me today.
Yes,
You guys have been doing some amazing things in Charlotte, so I'm really, really excited to have you.
Thank you.
Oh, yes.
So tell me a little bit about what you guys do when you started and just your entire scope.
All right. So we are new construction home builders. We started back in 2018 originally as wholesalers. That's how we got into real estate. Aaron and I graduated college in 2017 and then moved down here for jobs. Aaron was in the finance industry and then I was in healthcare. So we were doing that and we honestly were doing well. We were fine, but just still that little bit of you that knows this isn't quite the path I'm supposed to be on.
Yeah.
I thought this is what I wanted to do. You start doing it and then you're like, the passion and the purpose isn't aligning here.
That's what I'm saying. You weren't in alignment.
It was
you
not.
felt something was missing.
Yeah.
Even though you guys are doing great. Yeah.
Yes.
And it was like, okay, well, Aaron came home and he was like, look, I've been talking to God. God told me there is something much more for us than the 9-to-5 life. This is not where we're supposed to be. Yeah. And I'm the kind of person that's like, let me know whatever you want to do. I'm down. I'm right.
I love it. I love it.
So he was like, look, I don't know where it is, but I feel like it's in real estate. And that's where he started. So it's like, okay, well, let me know what you want to do. And we can go from there. So we stopped on, went to YouTube University, like any millennial would.
But it's a wealth of knowledge, right? Like sometimes I feel like in our generation, it's not an excuse anymore because the information is there. It's just the execution.
Yes.
Like the information is there, but you just have to execute.
Yes. And so, we're all about action. That's what we tell people all the time. Anybody that we work with, it's, we're going to give the knowledge because that's how it was for us. Hey, we're going to give you the knowledge, but you've got to put it into action.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because inaction is a waste of somebody's time, And so and time is the most valuable asset that you have because you cannot get it back. And that's what we're fighting so hard for and working so hard for. It's the time freedom, right?
Yes.
That's where we know we wanted to be.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So I know you guys focus and give me what we discussed earlier, tagline. It is where luxury
meets affordability.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So what made you focus on that in the Charlotte market?
Oh, yeah. So I guess we'll take it back to when we actually purchased our first house.
Yeah.
We noticed that it was, one of these big builders and pretty much they were just kind of building these cookie cutter homes, right? There was no customizing, exactly nothing. It was the same granite countertops, things like that. So when we got into real estate, when we said, hey, when we get into the fix and flips, when we get into the new construction, we're not going to be like this, right? We're going to make sure that people have those good choices, coarse countertops, tile, all those things in our homes. And so that's what we said, okay, we're going to bring that here to the Charlotte and surrounding areas, because we want to be different, but we also want people to be able to afford those homes, but have that luxury touches in them as well.
Because for us, it's just thinking past your nose. I say that so much.
Yeah.
You got to think past your nose because if somebody is spending, no matter if it's $250,000, $600,000, whatever it is, they're spending their hard-earned money at the end of the day.
Yes.
So it's like, but why would I want to spend this kind of money that I've worked hard for to still have to put another $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000, $6,000 on something that wouldn't have cost a builder half a fraction of that just to do. And that is the difference in just saying, this is my house. Because, a lot of these builder grade homes, this is a house. They build houses.
Yes.
We want to build homes.
Yes. And I've seen your work in person. Both of you guys work in person, and it's amazing. And just the attention to detail that you have. So what do you define affordable luxury as? Like, what are some things that you include in your builds that are affordable?
So standards for us, which, hey, a lot of builders call us crazy, but we still make some money, so it's okay. It's really not that expensive. So we're always doing tile in every single bathroom. So that's not necessarily tile on the floor, but all the bathroom surrounds, whether that's the tub surround or the walk-in showers, always walk-in showers, they're always going to have tile around them.
Yeah.
We're always going to do in the kitchens, we're going to do some type of, you say custom cabinetry for that house, right? Because it's built, every kitchen is specifically designed for that house. We don't ever go to plan because we want to talk about functionality. We always do a range hood in all of our houses. So we're not doing the microwave over top of the stove. You're always getting a pot filler with us. These are I think these are very basic things.
What
that
you're
you should
describing those are what most buyers and most of the general public look at as luxury items, right? Like a pot
Yeah.
filler. It's like,
Yeah.
you know, as the builder, okay, yes, it's going to cost me a little bit more, but it's not astronomical to
No,
do
It's
this.
not
This
not
at
is
at
all.
all.
very, very a
Mm-mm.
small amount in the grand scheme of things, but
Yes.
Yeah,
you know that those touches really add something to the build.
absolutely.
Yes.
Like when we talk about pot fillers, a pot filler is just it's just another faucet,
It's
y'all.
Yeah,
literally a
exactly.
faucet. Yes. Yep.
That's all. It's just a
Yep.
faucet in a different location, but it costs no more,
Yeah.
than a normal one. So it's just like those little things. We usually will do a fireplace,
Okay.
some
Yes.
type of
Yep.
fireplace. Whether we're building that in, because a lot of times those are not included in the plans because we were spec build for so long.
Yeah.
Yes.
And so we say we're semi-custom builders at that point.
Yeah.
But even things like we're always doing a lot. I'm the queen of trim work. Everybody knows.
Oh
I
yeah.
love trim work and doing it so that way it's making a home pop, giving it that little
Yes.
extra touch of personality, that
Yes.
experience. Because one thing about our houses and our homes, it's going to be an experience from the time that you step onto the property
Yeah.
all the way
Yeah.
through the upstairs back door, all the way back out to the back deck.
Yes, it is. It
Yeah.
definitely, like, looking at you, what you guys post on social media, you can tell when you guys are doing the walkthrough. It's just everything is so intentional with what you select, every single thing, and it goes with the flow of the home. Yeah. So, okay. So, what are some quality decisions that you guys do behind the walls? So, not maybe just
Mm.
fixtures, but what are some things that you do behind the walls that the buyers don't see?
Yeah. So I know a lot of things like the plumbing, HVAC, electrical layouts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Laying those out accordingly. You want to have enough lighting in your bathrooms.
Yes.
You want to have airflow in your homes. You
Yeah.
don't want it to be working too hard, where it doesn't have no airflow. But just things like that, we game plan ahead.
Yeah.
That way, when we're doing our roughings, when we're doing our trim outs, those things are correct, especially when you got your cabinet layouts, things like that. We want to make sure we got walk space in our kitchens. Things like that is what we're really, trying to
And
aim
you'll be so
into.
surprised how many like multi-million-dollar builds don't take that stuff into consideration.
Oh, yeah.
That, like, you'll see a home, and once a home is lived in, it's like, oh no,
Yeah.
this,
Mm.
it's a
Yeah.
beautiful
Yeah.
photo. But once it's lived in, those
Yeah.
things really, really matter. So what are
Yes.
you seeing, like, your buyers? What are they prioritizing right now? What's really important to them?
I think a big thing that we've noticed
hmm
is definitely just the amount of walking space. We see a lot of like
Yeah.
light.
Mhm.
Because I think pre-COVID,
Yeah.
we saw people loved open floor plans, right?
Mhm.
That's what we saw. Everybody open this, open that. I can
Yes.
see
Yep.
all the way from the front to the back of the house, right?
Now close it back
Um,
up now.
Yeah.
Everybody
Yeah.
COVID was like,
Oh, yeah.
I love you, but
Yes.
I'm tired of looking at you. I can't even go to the living room without looking into the kitchen and sitting,
Yes.
like,
Yep.
so it's like
Yep.
those, just the defined living spaces is a big one.
Yeah.
Yes.
Trying to create defined living spaces without closing something off.
Yes.
I think those are a big things. And even just the pre-thought of organization
Yes.
and
Mhm.
storage. One thing that we always do is every single closet space, every single behind the door closet that we
Oh,
have
yeah.
is going to have already like your built-in
Yes.
like
Closet
system.
Yes.
That is
No
You know,
wire
big. People
racks.
don't.
No wire racks.
Yeah. And you guys, at the price point that you guys are doing it, these are just amazing things that you think of to do.
Yeah.
So how do you balance the elevated design? Because you are very specific in what you do with a broader buyer appeal, right? Like,
Mhm.
because you
Yeah.
want to make sure when you're designing a home, this is absolutely beautiful, but I don't want to get so specific that only a certain type of buyer will
Mm.
purchase this home.
Oh,
So
yeah.
how do you do to balance the design? Like, what are some things where you're like, oh, this will pop here, but let me be a little bit more neutral in this area?
So a big thing is I stick to about three
Mhm.
main colors in a house.
Okay.
Why I do that is because when you have too much, a lot of times, sometimes you'll go into some places and they'll have like the dining room's a different color. You go into
Yes.
the bathroom's a
man.
different color,
Ooh,
and
wee.
You're
and you're
overstimulated.
yes, like you don't know
Oh, my
which way to
goodness.
turn,
Where
which
am I
way to
at?
go. So it's like that makes that already trying to take that down. So we're not
Yeah.
sensory
Mhm.
overload already.
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
So key things are going to be my walls, my ceilings, and the majority of the time my baseboards are
Okay.
all going to be one color, the main color of the entire house.
Yeah.
Then my doors and my door trim are going to be another color,
Okay.
right? So I'm putting those things together because those have to be cohesive because we're buying those two colors to go together.
Yeah.
So they need to be seen
Mhm.
side by side. So those are some other things. Then I'm usually taking that same color and I'm color drenching a room. But that just means that that's flowing, right?
Yeah.
So then that makes sense. That's that cohesiveness that's following
I love
throughout.
that.
So those little things are, because usually that's going to be a more neutral-ish color. I'm still known for like bolder colors,
Yeah.
but they're still going to be neutral enough that if you're moving in and your furniture isn't competing with it,
Yes.
you can still make the house yours, so it's still going to be that more neutral color, but just pulling that neutral color and maybe, like I said, color drenching a room from the ceiling all the way down to the doors, the walls, everything. So those elements. If I'm doing an accent wall, especially if I'm doing a 2-story house, I'm big on taking the whole stairwell and turning that into an accent. So usually the wall trim or the trim in general is going to take the whole entire stairwell. But in doing that, I'm not painting it a different color. It's the same colors as the wall.
Yeah.
Because that's going to be something that will be like, wow, this is a standout feature, but it's layering, but without overstimulating
Adding
somebody.
some depth and like dimension to when you walk through.
Exactly.
Yes. So are there any design trends that you're moving away from? You guys started in 2020, but is there any, like you said, the open floor plan, but is there anything else that you guys are moving away from in your builds?
What would you say? I said because we were never trendy.
Yeah,
I think
that's
that's
the
a
part
big
of
thing.
it. Yeah.
We were never trendy.
Yeah.
I think it's very important to say that we like to say that we are transgenerational, because older people will go into our modern looking homes, right, and love them. Younger people will also come into the same home and love it. So we are more on the what can transcend time. What will somebody from, that's had their first house in the 60s still love about this house now here, in the 2020s.
Yeah.
So I think not being trendy is the biggest thing. I wouldn't necessarily say we're moving away from anything. Like, we'll still use white oak cabinets. We'll still use it, but it's in how you use these materials.
Yeah. So let's talk about your price point, right? You mentioned earlier what is the average price point of your builds?
So average price point, I'll say $350 and under.
Okay.
So anywhere from $280,000, $300,000, $325,000, $350 is our typical price range.
And all of those houses will all still keep the standard. Doesn't matter what price point they are. You'll still see all the same things.
Yes.
So what has been the most challenging part? Because you're very intentional. You're very specific on the things that you include in your build.
Yes.
What has been the most challenging part of building at that price point, but keeping your integrity, your build integrity?
Oh, yeah. So I guess I'll chime in on that. So I think the biggest thing is balancing budget and our sales prices. I think that's been the biggest challenge here, because, you want to set a certain budget, but also you want to make sure that, we're not doing this for free, so just making sure that those things balance out accordingly.
Okay.
Another side of it too is appraisals.
Yeah.
I know we've seen that recently in terms of appraisals, where we're putting in these things to the homes, and then the appraisers come and they're shooting in low appraisals, or they're shooting us at appraisals with other cookie cutter builders, where we're like, hey, we do have a superior product, but they're saying, hey, we only see this here. This is all we can appraise you for. So now we have, FHA buyers, VA buyers, where they get capped at a certain point. They either got to come out of pocket for it, or they may not be able to make the deal work, so just things like that.
So with that, can you share a lesson that you learned from a project that maybe didn't go as planned?
We just had 3 of those back to back.
The life of a business owner, right? It's like, how much time do you have?
Right.
I would say mainly, really just one. I would say really just one.
Yeah.
And we kind of laugh about it, but one we had was where the area that was kind of like our start area, way back when we were actually wholesaling. So it was funny, like, to come back to it. But this lot in particular, you do not know, and we've seen this 1,001 times, so you usually can just make a comeback for it or turn around. You got to be able to pivot in this game.
Yes.
And with this particular lot, the crawl space for that house was 11 feet high at its tallest point. And even our foundation guy, was like, nobody expected it. Like, even he didn't expect it. You're talking about somebody who's been doing this for 30 years. And he was like, okay, like, this is a little bit. So between that, and then just because of the layout of that particular lot, the house plan wasn't as fluid as we would have liked it to be for the upstairs, for the functionality of it. So even though the house ended up being, it was a beautiful house. It ended up being a lot of people's favorite houses, actually. It just, from a money perspective, was hard to try to maneuver in turn that house around to make it functional for an everyday buyer.
Yes.
So that actually led us into making our own custom plans for everything now.
Oh,
Yes.
wow. Okay.
That was our last like bought plan.
Yeah.
And that house just finished, but we were like, after that, we're done with
Can't
that.
do it.
Yeah.
That house really that particular lot should have called for us starting that process and just making the plan for that particular lot.
Yeah.
But I think that was probably our biggest one, because that house gave Aaron, if he had any more,
Oh
if he
my
had
goodness.
any,
It was
now,
coming out.
I was stressed.
The beer was
Oh my
next.
God.
The beer was gonna go next.
Everything was about to be gone. So, but yeah, I think that was probably like our biggest lesson.
Okay.
Yeah.
So speaking of when buyers are purchasing new construction, since you're on the other side, what should they pay attention to?
I think some things to look at. I think first and foremost, when you're looking at it, look at the topography of your land.
Okay.
How is the house sitting, right?
Yeah.
Is it sitting in a hole? Because I've seen a lot of houses, we've seen them,
Yeah.
where they sitting in a hole. They might have done a slab and tried to pad it up, but it's sitting down up under. So you got to think about those things, because water is your biggest enemy to your
For
home.
anything.
So you want to make sure that it's sitting up real good, and then also you got your grading done correctly too.
Yes.
So I'll say just look at that first, and then also just look at, okay, how are they doing their kitchen layouts?
Yes.
How is the flow of the
true
home?
functionality of the house.
Yep.
Yes.
Are they using certain paint colors? Are they using agreeable gray? If I see that, I already know you're a lazy builder.
Yeah.
So how is their creativity? How is their flow? Also look at their warranty as well. Do they offer a warranty? Do they offer a 1-year builder warranty or a 10-year structural? Because you want to make sure that you're securing that.
Yeah.
So just looking at those things, you can see other things like how's the quality of their flooring? Is it chipping? All those different type of things.
Yeah.
What kind of granite are they using, or quartz? Is it that Luna Pearl? Are they using that still? If they are, okay, that's a lazy builder. I'm sorry.
I know some builders are like.
I'm sorry,
but white basic. So anything that's gray, you're gone. You're lazy.
Yes.
If you're using white subway with white grout, if you're using white grout, you're lazy, because you must hate your buyers. You do. You must, to use white grout, you must hate what you're doing, because have you tried to clean white grout?
Right.
Like, that's the question. So it's like those are the things that
Things.
when a buyer is going in, look at those things, because as the homeowner, you're going to be responsible for that.
Yes,
This is not a landlord.
Yeah.
So we have those things. So it's like when we are creating a home, walking through and saying, I'm taping everything out, and I'm taping it out to where the countertop is going to end.
Yeah.
And then adding on going from there for my measurements, because it's just when you start to add those things in with drywall and all that, it's going to significantly shrink. So looking at those things ahead of time, even like he said, just the laziness of a builder of, well, the shoulda, coulda, wouldas of things.
Yeah.
Walk around it, open every door. We're not perfect, and we know it, but
there's no perfect
also if
construction.
something is wrong and they give you a crazy, crazy hard time about it.
Yes.
Of fixing, yes. Yeah.
That's your, like I said, we're not perfect by any means, but one thing people can never say is that we don't try to fix it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
We will always go above and beyond to fix anything, because I don't want that. I don't want anybody to say that they had a bad experience with me, or even if you're like, it wasn't perfect, but they tried.
Yeah.
They came back, they responded, they got it done. Because that's what's important. So how is that process going?
Yes.
Okay. So what does growth look like for you guys in the next couple of years? I know you guys have some exciting projects coming up, so I want to talk about what that looks like.
Yeah, so definitely, we want to get into more of the, I'll say, smaller multifamily space. We're actually dipping our toes in that now with our Black Star Villas project, 6-unit townhomes in downtown Kannapolis. We also want to go international with it too. I'm from Ghana, West Africa, so I know we want to be able to go over there, build some homes and things too. Go to the U.S. Virgin Islands, so on and so forth. Just different areas, because everybody needs some A&E love with that luxury means affordability.
Yes.
So doing that, and then of course just gaining more time freedom. We definitely want to get some more rental properties, things like that, and have some passive coming in too. Just have that time freedom.
Yes, I think that is truly our biggest thing. We love being a boutique builder. I think a lot of times people are like, "Well, you want to grow, you want to do subdivisions, I don't want to do all that. I don't want to have."
You pay so much attention. Like you're so like with your detail. I couldn't see you doing that, and I could see you. I know it's possible with the right team, but you specifically, if you wanted to, you could, but I couldn't see like 100 homes, and it's like you're able to divide. It's like at some point, it's like you're not. It's not going to get the ebony touch. Yeah.
And and that's what makes it fun. Like I said, just being that small, intimate. Every house. That's why I always tell people, I cannot design the same house twice. Physically cannot. Because everything I go, I'm a big thrifter, unashamed. I'm a big thrifter for fixtures and, Habitat for Humanity. Shout out to Rock at the South End store because I'm always there. And, I love going and seeing like what they have. And then, this is for this house. And, this is for that house. And so it's like, no, I physically cannot design the same house twice, but that is the beauty of it, because I want somebody to look at this house and say, nobody has this house. I had a closing. We had 4 closings last week. And I got to talk to one of the buyers, and he was like, he said, just felt like this was just me. And he was like, I walked in and he was like, everything. I said, I wanted people to feel that they can't
it truly looks like a custom home. Which I think is amazing. I'm thinking in the Charlotte market, I'm like, I don't think anyone is doing custom homes at your price point. Like where you guys are even now, you're not even purchasing your prints, your blueprints offline. You're doing those custom. So that's, that is truly a major differentiator between you guys and other builders. So how is it working as a husband and wife team?
It took a minute to get there.
We did not start out the gate
I work with my husband on some projects, but you are day in and day out, and I'm like, Jesus, you guys are amazing.
It took some time to get there.
Oh, it did.
Aaron and I've been together for like 10 years, and it's when you know somebody, but you also know like he knows where I fall short. I know where he falls short, but in that, pick up where the other person is lacking. And so with that, we're like, hey, this is your lane. You're strong at this. Stay in your lane.
Do not deviate. Oh my
Stay
goodness.
in your lane. Hey, you're diverting. I need you to get back. Because that's when things start to get, and then another person starts to feel, like you're micromanaging or whatever. You don't trust what I'm doing. And it's just like, that's how you can't do that at work. If you're at a regular office setting and your manager is micromanaging you, you don't like it then. So you can't do that here. And that's how we are. A lot of the times it's just putting our phones down, at the end of the day, and it's just family time, or it's just us time, and cut it off at this point. Like it has to be like that, and you have to respect it, because if you don't, nobody else will. So it's just making sure that you respect our time and the us, and I feel like we really, when you're first starting your business, it feels like that takes over a lot. But when people say things like, oh, the business ruined my marriage. No, you let it.
No.
It's just that simple.
You know what? And I also think sometimes in the marriage too, it's like, this person nobody has my back like this person, right? So it's like, and we're in it together. This other person has outside. It's like, we have the same responsibilities, the same household. So this has to work. So we're, like, so I think, like you said, if a business cannot ruin your marriage.
Cannot.
It already was on a shaky foundation.
It was priorities, because I feel like even from the parent perspective, there's no such thing as balance. We were just talking about it earlier.
I say that too.
Thing as balance. There's priorities. Some days you're gonna be, we're great business owners today. Maybe he's the great business owner and I'm the great parent this week, and then we swap the next
switch.
because it has to. It's just what takes priority today, this week, because every day looks different. So it's just that there is no such thing as balance. But
that's
just
a romanticized version of just life in general.
Work-life balance.
It's like work-life balance like exists. And I know a lot of people are going to be, it's hard, but it's like, no, that doesn't exist. That this whole romanticized of being an entrepreneur while still doing this and doing that, it's like, no, it's hard. And it's gonna be very hard days, and there's gonna be some really good days, and that's just life in general.
And life does not care.
Like life
does not care. It keeps
and
going.
other people don't care either.
No, they don't.
Your clients
they do not care.
They do not care.
Oh my goodness.
Well, thank you guys so much for joining me. It was so good talking to you guys and learning more about you. Like I said, I've always admired what you've done. I really am proud of you guys, and I can't wait to see the projects you have coming up, because I know, even though you want to stay boutique, I know if you want to, you guys will be taking over the world, and we'll be Ghana, Virgin Island, and seeing there internationally as well. So I'm excited.
Thank you.